Alright, I gotta get this out of my system. Having a crush has always historically gotten on my nerves. I'm the type of person where if I get a crush, I tell the person I have a crush on immediately because I don't want to fucking know. I don't want to feel that way. Like if I'm like, oh, this person seems great, and then I got feelings for them, and it's like, some people are like, I've met people. I had this one dude in my life, JC. He would tell me like, oh, there's this stunningly beautiful girl at work. She's got this gorgeous dark brown skin and this amazing afro and these really nice like full lips, and she smells nice and she's so beautiful, and we have a lot in common, and just I don't know, she wants dudes that have money and are more rich and stuff. So I know I can't ask her out. I'm just gonna have to take this to the grave. But it breaks my heart and I want to kill myself every time I see her in public happy and smiling because she has a man in her life. And I just think to myself, nigga, you're a fucking punk ass bitch. But that's just me. Because like it's like good, you should move on because she has a boyfriend, but she didn't always have a boyfriend. For weeks she didn't have a boyfriend, so he could have at any point just swooped in and been like, hi, would you like to entertain a date with me? He could have. Instead, no, you know what he spent his money on? Me, because he was just like, oh, I should drown out my woes with like sex with Tamia. Fucking stupid. You could just like for the like nigga, you could be taking her out for it doesn't anyway. But I guess I sort of respect that he's like, this girl seems like she has high end taste and I shouldn't like annoy her with my broke ass behavior. I respect it, but at the same time it's like deep down he really could have tried with her at the very least, or I don't know. But I don't know. I know it's also slightly different because he's a man and stuff, but still. For me, though, I believe in just telling people. If anything, I tell people in the least romantic way possible. I tell them, hey, listen, like I tell them kind of like in the equivalent of how you would tell someone you got COVID. I just let them know, like, hey, listen, I gotta break some news to you. So it appears that I've caught feelings for you. Like, don't worry, you should be safe. Just like I don't think you'll be really affected by this. It's just affecting me the most. I'm the one with the symptoms, but give it like a week or two. And like I'm pretty sure they'll dissipate. So if I'm being a little weird, it's just because I'm healing, okay? And sorry if that pisses you off. And funny enough, it's only pissed off like two people ever. Anyone else could actually handle it because they would either be like, yeah, all right, yeah, that's cool. Take your time to like heal from this. It's okay. I respect that you told me. Or they'd be like, oh shit, you have feelings for me. I have feelings for you too. And I like, and then it's like, the first one is like it's embarrassing ish, but like feels better because it's like the band-aid gets ripped the fuck off, and then it's like, phew, this person knows I'm attracted to them, but that it's I'm gonna get the fuck over it. And then the latter is like, oh, guess I get to go on some dates then. I remember there was this one. Ooh, I remember there's this one friend I had who bragged like, "Oh God, everyone always gets a crush on me when they get to know me. It's annoying. I just want genuine friends." And then I thought, yeah, that really does suck. I'm sorry, it sucks. You probably might feel not quite objectified, but still like it doesn't feel good. I wouldn't want you to feel like you have to lose your friends all because they're attracted to you. And then I caught feelings for them, and I was like, but at the same time, I didn't want to date them. I just kind of thought to myself, okay, my body is having this one of those severe reactions where I would like to just speed run this because otherwise I'm going to be tripping on this motherfucker for months and being unnecessarily heartbroken and weird and stuff. And for me, it is just ripping off the band aid. Like, I like you. And then it's like, phew, now I can stop punching my pillows, sweating profusely, staring at your social media, waking up the next morning like, why the fuck do I have like 156 photos from their fucking Facebook that they left behind in 2014? I get to just be normal, and then I get to just be like glum for like a day and then move the fuck on. It's very simple. I fucking hate having crushes. But ironically, with that same friend, I told them, and I even made it clear, like, I don't want to date you. I don't want to. This is just me telling you because I don't want things to get weird between us, and just because if I'm distanced for a bit, it's just me getting the fuck over it, but I still want to be your friend. And then they threw a tantrum like some, oh my god, how dare you get a crush on me? Even you know specifically I hate people getting crushes on me. Nigga, do you really think that of all the people I wanted to get a crush on, it would be your funky ass? It wasn't a choice. You have a pencil stash and a weird little stringy little goatee. And you're not that cute. And your hair's uneven. You look fucking busted. You look dusty. I like the fact you should be flattered. Oh, you bitch. It's like, nigga, you were not my first. It's like if I could have a crush on anyone else. Funny enough, I also had a crush on. Sometimes I can have crushes on multiple people. That's how I work. Ironically, I had a crush on another friend. And I also told that same friend too. I was like, I'm just ripping off the band-aid. They were like, oh, okay, that's cool, bro, do your thing. And then ironically, those two people that I confessed feelings to started dating each other. And I was happy as fuck for them. I was like, hell yeah. Do I feel a little cucked? Sort of, but I don't own these people anyway, and I'm truly fucking happy for them. Hell yeah. But the first one pissed me off. I remember I had a crush on my friend. We will call them Jacob. I have repressed them from my memory. They suck ass. But I remember it was like I had a crush on them, and it just hit me out of nowhere. I was like, "Fuck! Why did Cupid's arrow just like fucking jab me right in the kidney? This hurts like shit." But then, and I think at most I got really close to telling them, but then I just decided against it, and I was like, you know what? No, I don't have to tell them because I can get the fuck over this easily. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then you know what happened? I planned a date with someone, and I started actually talking to them, and I was like, this person seems really fucking cool, actually. Like, they're pretty nice, they're pretty mellow. I like the speed of this. And then because I get attached a little easily to people, I got overly attached to this new guy I met. I forgot I even had a crush on my friend Jacob. And then I remember, funny enough, it was like the next night or so. I hit up Jacob like, "Yo, guess what?" And I was just gonna tell them about like the awesome new person I met, and instead they're like, "Hey, just so you know, I know you have feelings for me, and I can't entertain those. Also, I should probably end our friendship. Blah 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 blah." And I just kind of was. It hit me like a truck, especially because they used a bullshit excuse. But it was like I kind of wanted to just be like, I don't have a crush on you anymore. It was a fleeting infatuation, and I was rushing to tell you about this nice date I just had, and how I'm excited for the second meetup with this guy I like. I didn't tell. Oh, anyway. Fuck Jacob, though. They were a piece of shit for a lot of reasons, but whatever. People get weird about crushes, and like, even if I describe to them how it's like, it's no pressure, you can reject me, I won't be mad about it. And or hell, I'll sometimes tell people my intent is not to date you, it's just to get this shit off my chest, and so that you know, like, hey, if I'm being a little weird, it's because I'm just trying to recover from like an infatuation, aka it's like I might distance for a day or two, focus on myself, thug that shit out, go on a date, get back into my hobbies, and then we up. It's not that big of a deal. But I've had friendships end over it. I remember this one guy I flirted with in like this college experience program I had when I was 17. And instead of just saying like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not interested," or "Oh, that's sweet, but no thank you," he just like full on went to like some people in my friend group, and he was like, "How do I reject her?" Cuz and then and it took like several days for him to not pussy out enough to just be like, "Yeah, no thanks." And like, I don't know. And then the only reason I got pissed off was not because I got rejected. Like, that would have been fine. It was because it's like, oh, so I thought we were friends, but you don't really like or respect me enough to just simply be like, oh, I'm sorry, bro, I'm not feeling you like that. It's not hard. I've done it to people a lot of times, and then we can still stay friends, and it's all tight and good. It just gets on my fucking nerves. But feelings for people, I don't like it because it puts me in a vulnerable position. I don't like it. Like, I remember I had a crush on this one girl. Her name was Rosa. She was this stunningly beautiful girl in high school. And I didn't like the fact that it's like, okay, I can't even sit next to her or make eye contact too long, or else my eyes are going to start watering and I'm going to start sweating profusely. Thankfully, she didn't notice the eyes watering, but I'm pretty sure she noticed the sweating. It's like, I'm sorry, my hormones, and you're hot, and god damn it. And then on top of that, it's like, yeah, it's like I don't like. It's like sometimes having a crush is nice and sweet and wholesome because it's like, oh, I adore this person. Like if you're having a rough time, it's like, oh, they're my reason to live now. They made me feel in a way that no one else has ever did before. But with me specifically, in my unhealthy attachment style, sometimes, or in the past, because I'm manifesting that I'm healthy now, simply put, it's led to some bad shit. Only if things went obnoxiously bad. Oh, actually, I remember I had this friend. His name was Nazaya. I remember, like, I was friends with both of his sisters, and I kind of confessed to his older sister. I was like, hey, I don't know, I have feelings for, like, Nazaya. He's kind of cute, and I think I want to, like, confess to him. She was like, girl, don't do it. I can't tell you why, just don't do it. Trust me. Do not do it. He won't be interested. I said, are you sure? Because he seems really, like, we talk almost every second of the day, this, and that. She was like, don't do it. And a part of me was like, is she just hating? Or, like, I was like 14 at the time. I didn't, like, and also in hindsight, it's like, bitch, you're 21. You could just, like, anyway. To sum it up, I confessed feelings. He was like, just, I like you too, and I would really love to date you. And I remember I fucking beamed because he texted me that. And I was like, yes! Whoa, 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 whoa! And I ran around my bedroom screaming and blushing, just like, fucking like, yes! 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 At the top of my lungs, rolling on the floor, laughing and blushing and giggling and smiling and thinking, oh my god, it's all gonna work out. Everything's gonna fucking work out. And then guess what happened? I checked my phone. His very next message was, but actually, I don't think I want to date you right now. But maybe someday in the future, like after like a year or something. You know, after a little bit of time has passed, because I don't really think I have the capacity to like date anybody or have feelings for anybody. And I was like, then I remember I just immediately started crying out of embarrassment, just alone in my bedroom, because it's like, damn it, nigga, I just did the embarrassing victory lap around my bedroom and the touchdown dance and everything. And I was envisioning our future, and you just, it's like, okay. But you know what? Even though I was embarrassed, I just said, yeah, that's cool. Thank you for telling me, man. And we could still be friends. I'm still cool with you. And then the very next fucking day, guess what? He posts on his blog, hey, everybody, I'm in a relationship with my friend George. I'm dating my friend George now. I hit up his older sister, and his older sister was like, oh, like, she didn't have any sympathy. She was like, I told you. You didn't tell me shit. If you told me, oh, actually, he's got this crush that he probably hasn't talked to you about that he's secretly, like, simping for. So whatever you do, do not ask him out, because genuinely, like, just don't. That, like, why wouldn't you lead with that? Why would that bitch not lead with that? To this day, I'm older than she was, and it's like, why would you be that? That was messy. Anyway, sometimes having a crush is great. Other times I'll just be kind of like crying into my fucking pillow because it feels like my chest is caving in and my heart's racing nonstop and I'm having nonstop anxiety and obsessive thoughts and this, and that. It's not fun. It's not fun. Sometimes it's a little fun because it's like, okay, I get to like belt out love songs and sing them a little bit more passionately in the shower. Like, I'll be hitting the high notes in all the Mariah Carey songs fucking effortlessly. I'll be all romantic. I'll be envisioning shit like, oh, this guy's really cute. Is he cute enough that, like, what if we were together for years? And then, like, would he be cute enough that I could have a baby with him and I would love it if the baby looked like him? Like, oh, like this, and that, you know? I remember I once got a friend on a crush of mine who we will call Patrick number two, because he was the second Patrick I dated and the lesser one. But simply put, this asshole, I remember he was such an obnoxious piece of shit. He used to chew with his mouth open. He would be really condescending at times. He would drone on for hours and hours and hours without giving you, like, room to speak edgewise. Like, in just. Uh, like, he wasn't a very emotional person. He was very monotone, very flat. He was the type of dude to eat grape nuts for breakfast, basically. And I think that's, like, by choice. A very dull, bland, rude man. He dressed weird too. He dressed like someone who just dove in blind at a Goodwill and then came out with like an ill-fitting like baby like fucking shirt, a shirt that would belong to a fucking 4-year-old. Like, ooh, I'm gonna wear a tight T-shirt that's 2 sizes too small from the Burger Boogaloo, with fucking oversized Kim Possible ass cargo pants and the worst ugly work boots you've ever seen in your fucking life. He was so insufferable. Didn't stop me from getting a crush on him. I knew I got a crush on him because we were just fuck buddies and shit. But I knew I had a crush on him when once we had sex, and like, he came within 2 seconds of having sex with me, and I was like, "Don't worry, baby, it's okay. Here, just cuddle with me. I wanted to cuddle anyway." And then I realized that I was looking forward more to like cuddling and kissing this man and watching movies with him for hours naked in bed than I ever was actually interested in sex with him. Sex was cool, but I was like, this is not the main event. The main event is bonding with this boy who I secretly have feelings for. And I was like, shit. This nigga, of all the people you could like, this weird ass nigga, he chews with his mouth open, his eyebrows, his hairline. No! He's such a pretentious cunt. And it's like, but I fell for him. I was so angry and embarrassed. That led to some weird dynamics between us. But eventually, guess what? I ripped off the band-aid and confessed I had feelings for him. That nigga got terrified. and that's the one instance of me confessing feelings for someone where if they got terrified, I understand. Because a lot of weird shit happened with me and that dude. Or mainly, not weird, just like salty shit. But either way, I was like, I had feelings for you, Patrick. He froze up and gave me like this look of sheer terror out the corner of his eye. And I said, had. Keyword was had, motherfucker. As in past tense. Stop looking so terrified. I'm not gonna. What the fuck? But then surprisingly, he was like, and I was like, by the way, like, we moved on from that topic. And I guess as we hung out more that day, I was like, by the way, can you just reject me? Otherwise, I'm gonna like have a weird like hope for more, and I would like to just be rejected now so I can know that there's never going to be any potential future between us. And he said, I don't think I can do that. I said, why not? Like, it's the one thing I want. And then he was like, because I have to reflect and think on if I have feelings for you too, because I kind of liked hearing that. And then I blushed. And then we dated. And then let's not talk about, let's just, I don't, the first half of dating went very well, is how I will end this story on a good note. I have this guy I have a crush on recently, and he's, I guess since I just want to stop being able, I just don't want to keep posting about it on the other platforms I do. I gotta say it. He's a gorgeous fucking man. He really is. He's sexy. He dresses really nicely. Like, he puts a lot of effort into his fashion. He has a really nice jawline. He is very, like, the way he smirks and, like, squints his eyes when he looks at me before he dives in for a kiss. I love it. I love his big, sexy, dark brown eyes that kind of have, like, dark chocolate, milk chocolate undertones. I like the little things he does with his eyebrows. I like his hair and the way it cascades around his forehead. I like how he looks with his glasses on. It gets my pussy fucking gripping. I like the little rings he wears on his fingers. Sometimes I think, oh my god, I want him to put those rings around my throat sometime. I like the way he smiles at me, and I like that he likes me so much that if he hears about my favorite video game, he buys it immediately. If he hears about, like, a story that I might like, he wants to hear every single detail of the story if it means he could just keep talking to me. He heard me talk about like 5 different genres of books and stories that I like in video games, and he intently meant it when he said, I'm gonna get this book. I'm gonna read this story. I'm getting this video game. And he would like show in front of me that he puts it on his wish list or buys it immediately. He's a very thoughtful guy. Actually, sorry, 1 second. Before we had our second date, he got me this necklace. It's made of real opal and 14 karat gold, and I believe the stone is a, like, I don't know, it doesn't look flashy enough to be a diamond, but you never know. There's low quality diamonds and stuff out there. But it's so gorgeous, and I put it on this little ribbon because it's amazing. And he got me that because he knew I loved fucking gemstones. And then he also showed me his collection of gemstones, and I got to admire them with him and show off all the knowledge I had. And we had a great time for like almost an hour, just like talking about his gemstones and like how he got them, the stories behind them, like what type of styles of rings we would do. And I was able to talk about my family freely, my exes freely, my trauma. I was able to talk about my goals and hobbies and lifestyle. And we could just talk about anything under the sun. And I really like that. I do. I like him a lot. I think he's very cute, and I think we have a really good equilibrium. He even heard I was stressed out, and then he was like, you know what? Like, he just immediately jumped in. Like, I know some lawyers that can help you out in this situation because this is messed up. 100%. As long as you have evidence of all this shit, like, 100%, you are going to get your money. I am, I won't say nervous. I have a good feeling about this guy. Then again, I don't know. I'm trying to recall if I had a good feeling about that guy Riley I had a crush on, and we know how that story goes. I had feelings for Riley. He seemingly had feelings for me. I forget if I had an under. I remember with Riley, I was like, when's the other shoe gonna drop? What's the red flag?" And we found out what the red flag was when after our second date, I got punched in the nose by his ex. The bruise finally healed after like a month or two. And I guess for this guy, I actually have nothing but good vibes about him, nothing but good energy. Like, you know, I've been able to sleep over at his house and, like, kiss him and make out, and he hasn't pressured me for sex at all. And he's been honest with me about things, like, from the very jump. He told me about his own stuff with his family. He told me about his own stuff with his recent ex. He told me everything that I needed to know. Plus, he's very well accomplished, I gotta admit. He's, like, I won't say too much, but I will just say it's like he's a scholar, and it feels kind of good to date someone who actually is very educated, like they went to college and they know a lot of things and they're an intellectual. It feels good to date that because, no offense, the last guy I officially like claimed as mine was a guy who like basically tried to, like, you know, my last ex was the type of idiot that would like, he couldn't spell words right. And I remember once he was like, I'm gonna make up how I fucked up Valentine's Day and that card for you. And he put fucking. He sent me a poem, obviously made by ChatGPT. And I was like, nigga, I know you didn't write this. He was like, how would you know? And I said, because you don't use daunting. Like, yeah. Like, sorry, I have to intermission. I remember my ex in the fucking poem he wrote to me, it said lines like daunting eyes, irreversible smile, like shit that it's like I've used Chat GPT to make me poems, not to post online or anything, just because I would be bored. I recognize the format of how Chat GPT talks. I have pattern seeking behavior, bitch. You really think I'm not gonna fucking notice that you're using a bunch of words that you would never use ever in your fucking lifetime and that don't fit in the and it's like, nigga, you put in a prompt on Chat GPT and you're trying to pass it off as your own. To this day, he would never admit that he did, but it's like, oh my god. That ex was stupid. But let's not talk about him because he's trash. I'll just say, yeah, I had a stupid ex who couldn't even be bothered to actually bother writing anything if it meant he could truly show his feelings for me, which was an omen, a bad one. Actually, a disgusting omen. It's like, nigga, it's not that hard to put pen to paper, even if you fuck up. Like, it wouldn't be as much of a fuck up as, oh, I use Chat GPT to like vaguely describe how I think you're cool. Like he could have just sent me a text with whatever he was going to type in as the prompt, and that probably would have made my heart sing 10 times more. Anyway, gross. I feel anytime I even mention him, I feel grimy. So let me just I'll just say it like this: my ex was the type of guy where he liked Joe Rogan, and he did not like being corrected on his extremely shitty grammar. He didn't know the difference between there, and there, or your and your. He spelled words wrong all the time, and he was just a very stupid fucking man. Ugh, ugh, ugh. But guess what? The new guy I'm seeing is an intellectual who actually knows a bunch about stories. And also, instead of it, like, he's not a racist either. He's actually he's very much like, I've dated other people of many races many times before. Like, he was like, I want to get you a globe so that I can teach you about places around the world. And we can learn about that stuff together. He was like, hey, like, he told me in depth about, like, the history of stuff with Jewish people. And also about the history of, like, Jim Crow and a bunch of, like, race laws in America. He told me something really fascinating. Oh, yeah, I remember he said that the Nazis actually, the way they came to be, and like they got inspired by how the Deep South treated slaves and whatnot. That they went to the Deep South and basically researched as hard as they could, then took the information back to Germany and was like, this is how we do this, because this is how the Americans did it. And it's not written in American history because America doesn't want to recognize that it's like, hey, us being racist motherfuckers inspired other countries to commit mass acts of genocide and racism and shit. And it's like, that's sexy as fuck. It gets my pussy wet to know that's like, I'm dating a fucking hot ass dude, a Jewish guy who fucking no, and well, he's mixed with other stuff still. It doesn't. He's teaching me about shit. And instead of someone who's trying to be closed minded, like, yeah, my ex was the type of dude, I don't even want to repeat what he said when we passed by a school specifically for Asian people. I don't. But that was definitely or he's the type of guy to watch fucking Bridgerton and then be like, there's too many black people in this show. Me and his daughter were like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. Like, oh my, yeah, shut the fuck up. And I even educated him. I was like, you do know at some point there actually was a black queen, right? Like, it is rumored that she was mixed. And then he was like, well, still. And it's like, shut the fuck. Oh, I hate this man. Hate this man. And if you're wondering, if you hated him, why did you date him? It's survival reasons. That's all you need to know. And anytime, yeah, you shouldn't see potential in places where there's not. But meanwhile, this guy in front of me, the guy I currently have a crush on, it's just like, I keep thinking about the way he looked at me before we had our first kiss. And I keep thinking about, like, how nice it felt to just, like, talk to him without any hindrance. I didn't have to put on any sort of, like, facade of, like, being more mentally this or that, you know? There's still some stuff he doesn't know, but it's okay. It's not everyone needs to know certain things about me, and funny enough, if I'm dating the right people, they'll never see the bad sides. And he's in therapy, and he's really cute, and, like, I don't know, he's emotionally mature, and I like that. I think the only thing I don't like about having a crush as of now is just like the obsessive part. That's something I'm working on myself so that then it's like, instead of me being like, I need to always think about him nonstop, 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 I want to always know what he's doing. It's like, no, you should also have a life so that then you can be just as interesting as him because you are. And I remind myself, you have a YouTube channel that you're flourishing and growing. You have a Twitch stream that you're going to start soon. You have scripts that you're producing and writing. You have home decor projects that are going amazingly well. You have a lot to achieve, and it's all going to be amazingly abundant. And yeah, it's stuff like that, basically. I'm working on it. Anyway, peace out. But I think the best crushes are the ones where you know it feels safe to actually be romantically attached to them. You don't feel horror or terror. You don't think, what about this? What about that? You just go, this is a guy who I like. And he makes me feel good. And there's nothing that's stopping me from thinking that this is the worst idea in the world. There's no bad omen, just good. So far, that's nice. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna have a good day, specifically because, not just because I want to make myself happy, but also because, yeah, I want to make sure this dude feels good too. Also, sometimes crushes are good. No, I'm not gonna say this next part. Let's just say he's a positive tether, and I like that so far. Peace out.